What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news. It's surprising concerning Deontay Wilder. Now, I promised you guys that I wouldn't talk about the Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua saga until something develops. Well, apparently something has developed. The vocal Deontay Wilder, the WBC heavyweight champion, has agreed to the terms of fight in the UK. Now, for him agreeing to the terms, I don't know if the terms included the 12.5 million. He just said he would agree to fight in the UK, and he's waiting for Joshua's side to respond to what his terms were, or his terms agreements. And it's surprising news, but again, at the same time, I know the Wilder fans are gonna get pissed, but it's irritating news. It's one of them news like, dude, what took you so long to just agree to the terms of the deal? You know what I mean? Like, you could have done this a month ago and we would have had a fight, or we would have knew exactly who stood and who wanted what. So it's almost like now it's still kind of like, okay, well, you didn't want to fight, or you didn't want to fight in the UK. You wanted to only fight in America because you put up the $50 million. You turned down the 12.5. You didn't want to fight in the UK. Now you want to fight in the UK, but the $50 million deal is still there. So he used that as an alternative. Wilder's camp, they used that as an alternative. So it's kind of like, man, you could have done this, and then at least if it was Joshua's side that was holding it up, we would have knew that when you agreed to the terms. Dude, I did like a 10-minute video on this, like over a month ago. And it was just like, okay, agree to the terms and take the fight. And I got bashed by all types of people, you Anthony Dick Ryder, and this, that, and the other, but I was just, if you want this fight, you have to show how bad you want this fight. Now you're showing how bad you want this fight. But the only question I have is, where was this idea over a month ago? You know what I mean? Where was this? Oh, okay, I agree to the terms. You could have done that, instead of being hell-bent on, no, I'm not budging, I'm not moving. But then you're like, now you want to do it. But I mean, it's a good thing, I guess. Because see, now, just like this is similar to Golovkin, and Golovkin, I can understand Golovkin because, what his situation was a little different, The fight didn't happen and it wasn't no fault of his own, and he signed the contract, so contracts were signed, but then he wants to go back and, renegotiate. Now Wilder is accepting the terms that supposedly he already turned down. So the question is now, if Anthony Joshua's side with Eddie Hearn, if they decide to say, hey, well, you know what, we're going to go another route, we're going to fight Perfected and possibly someone else, you know what I mean? Like, what would that mean? Because now it just gives more excuse for the Wilder fans or the Wilder side of things to say, oh, see, we know he didn't want to fight. But then the Joshua fans on the Joshua side could always say, well, hey, in his defense, well, hey, why didn't he take the fight when he took the fight? Now he doesn't need to fight him because he's already obligated to fight someone else. He could have made that fight if he wanted to fight at that time, So you can look at it both ways still, and it's just exhausting because we got to see if Anthony takes, or Anthony with Eddie, if they take or accept the deal. It's like, okay, come to the UK and fight us. You know what I mean? Is that deal still on the table? We don't know. I mean, we have to wait and see what Joshua's side says. But again, when opportunities present itself, you take them when they are presented to you. You don't wait and say, oh, I'm insulted and all this, that, and the other, go to the social media and do all this, and that's unprofessional, really. But then you go back and then you say, hey, yeah, I accept it. You know what I mean? So that's just like someone offering you a job and you say, hey, go fuck yourself. I never take that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go and tell everyone over here that you tried to give me all this less of money to do this job. I'm insulted, and no, I won't do business with you. I got another offer for you. Why don't you give me a certain amount of money? You don't want to give me a certain amount of money? Okay, fine. All right, well, I'm going to go. Then a month later, over a month later, you come back saying, okay, I'll take the original offer. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know, man. It just leads to more excuses. You know what I mean? It's just more excuses. See, if there were no excuses involved, this fight would have already been written on a contract when the first initial opportunity presented itself. He should have took it, because now I don't know what happened. I don't know if this is desperation. I don't know if it's just the desire to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do that. But it's like, that's what I've been telling everyone. Take the fight. Then you will see if Joshua's side really serious about fighting you. Because we don't, okay, here's the thing. For all we know, we don't really know who wants to fight really who. Obviously, it seems like to me both of the fighters want to fight. But then you got other aspects of the game, right? Well, on the business end of the aspects of the game, an opportunity was presented. You reneged. And that was a mistake. Now we clearly see that was a mistake, because now that you're agreeing to the terms. You see what I mean? So that's where we're at, you know. So if Eddie and Anthony, you know, A&E, I call them, if A&E, they can decide to go another route or whatever, I hope that doesn't happen, because this fight needs to happen. It needs to happen. You know, the heavyweight division has a light shined on it since the last couple years, you know, and we want to keep the light shined on the heavyweight division. So, and it's a 2-fight deal, right? So it's not just for one fight, it's a 2-fight deal, you know, and that's only fair, you know. And Anthony Joshua said this over a month ago, like, hey, we'll do that. We'll fight in the UK, then I'll come over to the States and we'll fight. I don't know what was the problem with that. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, it sounds good to me, because, hey, if you win, you know, at least you guys are sitting at a table and you're eating more than once. It ain't like Manny Pacquiao Mayweather, like, oh, hey, take it or leave it, like Mayweather. You know, I'm not doing business anymore with Pacquiao, but that's the most money he's ever made in his life. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. This is like a collaboration between two athletes that want to fight to see who's the best for all the marbles, for all the belts, but you get to do it twice. You know what I mean? So I don't really see what the problem was initially. That's my only concern with this, and that's what I will say about it. You know, so yeah, it is up to Anthony and Eddie, right? So it's up to A&E to see what they're gonna do. But I hope for the best. Keep you informed on what A&E does, because now it's up to them. Finally, it's up to them, because their side, which they were looking for an answer, they got one. So we'll see what happens and what they say. You know, you guys, thanks for watching. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace. Oh, please subscribe.